Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Tim. Episode, who knows, I think it's 5, roughly. We're halfway through. Thank you so much for all the support so far. We've had incredible guests on, incredible conversations, and we're just about to have another one. This one's close to home. He's literally my neighbour, but Conall Rice, how are you, brother?
I'm very good. I'm very excited to be here. Quite tired after an early start, but I'm looking forward to having a wee chat.
I appreciate you coming in. We've been trying to organise this for a while. I've been messaging back, then you've been up and down to Belfast. We're like, we'll get in this time. And we're essentially neighbours. We don't live in the same road, but we might as well live in the same road.
I know. So I'm probably your closest guest, but the one it took longest to take. So
yeah, but
I'm here.
It takes time. Perfection takes time. You know what I mean? So, and also, I didn't know Tyrone had so much talent because I've been speaking to a lot of people from Tyrone recently.
I don't know what that is about.
Man, the talent is pouring out of this county, so it's good to see. But look, I want you to introduce yourself. But first, before you introduce yourself, we need to get to the important part. What's the coffee order? What's the coffee order?
You see,
and is there any favorite coffee shops? Is there anywhere where you've been like that was, out of body experience? Like that was such a good sip.
Yeah. Well, you see, it took me a while to get into my coffees.
Yeah.
And also, funny enough, obviously, a podcast called Morning Coffee with Tim.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was a cool name. I actually didn't realize the importance of coffee.
Oh yeah.
To you,
I always got to get it
that.
straight off the bat. Well, the idea behind this is you grab a coffee,
and
get your steps in, listen to the podcast.
I like that. So morning coffee order. It changes depending on what mood I'm in.
What on flat white today.
We're on flat
we're
whites.
limited. We're limited to a shop. So
it's a Sunday. So depends what time, what mood I'm in, what time of day it is. So
yeah.
If I'm early morning class, I'll get probably a double espresso and we'll have down with a litre of water.
Yeah.
And then if I'm just chilling out and I'm treating myself, oat milk flat white, which is very basic, and I'm probably going to slate it.
No, man. Oat flat white, that's great.
Nice. And then whenever it gets warmer, which never really happens around here, but I move to the iced and get probably an iced latte with vanilla, which is I don't know why I get slated for the oat flat. That was reasonable compared to
oat flat. Yeah, you really took it to the next
but
step by going to the iced vanilla.
Yeah, there it is. It's out there. So.
Well, no, who here I appreciate the honesty. A lot of people would have kept that hidden.
I know,
but it tastes good.
But it does.
That's all that matters.
On a summer's day, an iced coffee. You don't want a warm. If you're drinking a warm coffee on a summer's day,
there's nothing better. I take decaf, so don't worry. I've got abuse too.
Is that decaf?
No, this isn't decaf, but I go decaf. I'll go through. Yeah. I'll do a month of caffeine, then maybe a month of decaf, and people are like, "Oh, decaf's not real," and all this here. It's not hardcore, but I don't care. I don't care.
But that's the thing for me on the double espressos and black Americanos. Fair, I love the raw taste of coffee and the kick in the morning. But one thing I'm doing is delaying my coffee an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
The cortisol and all that there.
I love it, man.
I love it. And then you actually really feel the kick. Yeah. So it's almost like a wee bonus. Don't allow yourself coffee for an hour and a half and then get rewarded with a big bloody kick of caffeine.
And that's something that a lot of people completely miss, because a lot of people, their initial habit, they've built a habit essentially of, and it's kind of like the way people see coffee, because I need to get a coffee. I can't live without my coffee. I can't function without my coffee. They're straight in, drinking it straight away. But if you, as you said, if you delay for the cortisol and stuff, delay 90 minutes, 120 minutes, you will start to feel a real kick. You'll get the true benefits of it, because that's what I was like. I love coffee. I spend an absolute fortune. When I was living in London, I was going to a different coffee shop every day. That's where Morning Coffee with Tim's.
How much is a coffee in London?
I don't even like to talk about
But I was over in London in summer, and
you could pay $4.50 a coffee.
I was like, bloody hell! I'm a student. I'm a broke ass student in Belfast. This isn't the place for me right now.
And if you're drinking oat milk, and then if I was getting decaf as well, 50p.
50p for decaf.
50p decaf.
Why? Because you're taking something out of the coffee.
I think it's because they have to have a really small batch because it's not that popular, so they have to bring it in. So they just essentially charge more. It's a bit of
I see what they're at
it's a bit of an annoyance. But I don't do decaf that much. I'll do decaf after 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I'll just not drink coffee after. Similar to the reasons delaying your coffee in the morning. Caffeine lasts in your system 7-8 hours. I don't want to be feeling buzzed by.
I'm bad for that, especially if I've got an evening gym session.
It's tough because you want a little bit of a kick,
because it's weighing up the benefits of potentially having a worse night's sleep, but also then having a great gym session. Yeah. And if you don't take that coffee, am I going to be in there going through the motions and hating my life? Probably.
Yeah. So do you still feel the benefits of caffeine then? You haven't got to the state.
No,
you do.
I'm not. My dad is like on about 5 or 6 coffees a day. Like he wakes up in the morning, I'm having my first coffee, he'd be on his third, I'd say. And he definitely doesn't. Like, and if he does, he's lying to me. If he tells me he feels like benefits of caffeine, he's lying to me.
Mate, that would change his life if he cut back and then delayed his coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
That man would be like a rocket.
I seen Sean was chatting about being completely caffeine free.
Caffeine
free or coffee.
I think I can't remember if he takes caffeine a little bit, or there was a time anywhere where he was drinking way too much of it and then he just completely cut it out and he found he was way more productive. Which, to be fair, morning coffee with him, I love coffee. It's a big part of my lifestyle. Don't get me wrong. And this started by me reviewing coffee shops in London. That's where that's where morning coffee town came from. And then I switched it into the whole grab a coffee, get your steps in thing. But it's like I would probably benefit from cutting it completely out. I did cut it completely out. I'll do like a month every 3 or 4 months with none, and it's the first 2 weeks of that are like absolute man. Hell. Don't talk to me. Like I am like, and then because it's hard because like I have to produce content. Like I need to be feeling good for my clients. Like I need to be feeling good to run my business. I want to be feeling good so I have energy. Yeah. But if you are drinking a lot of caffeine, then you cut it back, and then you really struggle. Like you'll get headaches and stuff. But I'm not even like a crazy, like I'm not a 5-6 coffee a day drinker. No, I'm like 2 max, maybe 3 if I'm like in a place that has a lot of good coffee shops. Which I think is
probably the average for everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I kind of, because I know a lot of people rely on it. Like,
yeah, for sure. I wouldn't feel guilty about 2 or 3. That's definitely my 3 would be my limit. Never more.
I feel like 2 or 3 is bad, and then I'll talk to someone. They'll be like at 12 o'clock. They'll be on their 7th, and I'm like.
And then you on the way home, you stop and get another coffee. You're like, you know what?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's an office culture too. Like I don't work in an office because if you're in an office, you want just something to do. Yeah. If you're not drinking coffee, you're eating a snack. True, like so, you just always want something to do. But like any favorite coffee shops? Any we've went in the world that you've kind of been like, frig, this place is good?
See, this is the thing with having multiple people on from Tyrone, because I do have to give a shout out. Kevin Penrose on, shouted out Nature Co. Yeah. And I had to shout out Nature Co because over the summer I probably spent, I would say more than 100 hours in there.
Is Richie Donnelly going to start paying me, or what's the crack? Because we are promoting Nature Co. It is unbelievable though. It's class. A great spot.
It's really nice. I love the sign. Meet me at the club. I think that sums it all up. Like it's
community,
a club and a community of people with similar ideals, looking to get after it in their own wee way. Yeah, and coming together and being united by a good working environment with bloody good coffee. Yeah. Just to switch things up, so I'm not repeating what the last podcast said. Tank and Skinnies in Buncrana, which is just outside of Derry, which we have a house in, and it's on the beach. And you go down and then you get there's a wee hatch and you get a bloody lovely flat white from it
mate.
On the beach in the morning.
Beach and coffee.
Here, beach, coffee and steps.
What a combination. I love it.
And then, where was the other one? Cafe O was nice.
Belfast?
Norwegian coffee.
Stranmillis? Is that kind of Stranmillis? Botanic.
It's very nice.
I've been there before. It's a good spot.
It's very different. Like, it's different than your usual coffees.
Staff in there are lovely as well.
Lovely.
And I love the
aesthetic
of it.
It's beautiful. It's completely minimalistic and almost kind of brutalistic in the sense that it's grey, black, and white,
I like that.
But it's nice.
That's what established is like as well. I feel like I don't know if you've been to established in Belfast. I kind of it's always so busy. It's hard to get into that place because it's always packed. But I like established too. Cafe O is great. Also, what you were saying about the coffee on the beach. I have to give a little shout out to Seashed. I don't know if you spend much time up at the north coast. If you have a house in Buncrana, that's kind of similar, like beside the sea. I think it's either like for us growing up, it's either you go to like Donegal or you go to the north coast. It's one of the two.
It's like everyone has their wee place that they go over the summer, especially whenever you're from like Tyrone, like small towns. Like everyone has that one place down south. Some people be Rasnila, some will be in Dorn. Yeah, I was Buncrana, which no one's ever heard of, and I bloody love that.
No, Buncrana. Wait, I feel like. Her name is Anna. She's from Buncrana. That's a song, right?
I don't know, but
that's definitely. I feel like.
But here, if the podcast doesn't work out, you got a wee voice in
there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we've got a full. I could do a music shoot in here easy, but Buncrana, is that where the Owlamas Fair is? No. Or am I just completely?
I don't know. What that
it's obviously not if you have a house down there and you don't know what it is. Like,
it's in a Sean 100 direction. Right. If you know that. Memore Gap. Like it's literally 10 minutes outside there, and it's weird because
close to the border. Then is it?
Yeah,
pretty close. Just over.
Border,
right. Okay. Fair.
But yeah, it's very nice. I recommend getting down because that's what I loved about it because everyone would go in Snyder, everyone would go in
Quiet.
Bundoran, and I hated going there. Mum would
Yeah.
bring us all the time, and I hated going there because it was just like a smaller Oma,
Aye.
like which is where I went to school, like.
Yeah.
But then when I went to Buncrana, I didn't know anyone. It was completely peaceful. A
Yeah.
lot of old people. It's one prettiest towns, cleanest towns, like I don't know, 6 years in a row or something. And it's just a lovely place to get away, to completely switch off. And even at a young age, I valued that over going to Snyder.
Yeah.
And just seeing more of my friends in a different location. Do you know what I mean? So
Buncrana, everyone get the Buncrana. It sounds amazing.
spot.
And I think I would appreciate that now, like being older. I would definitely appreciate that because I love nothing more getting a coffee, going to the beach, like just the sea shed or downhill Benone, like near Limavady. That's where we would have had our family would have had a caravan down there, and we would have spent a lot of time down there. And the sea shed, I imagine it's pretty similar to what you're describing, but little hatch, good coffee, walk on the beach. It's bliss, like. Yeah, the simple things in life.
It really is a simple thing.
It is, and that's the most. That is the best thing. Like they're the things that you enjoy, and they're the things that you kind of have to. You have to like actually think to enjoy them because it's so easy to just let them things just kind of pass by. But whereas you kind of like slow everything down, slow the pace down, and you're just sip a coffee, walking on the beach, the sound of the waves.
Not to deep the podcast already, but that's living for me.
Man, I totally agree.
Finding beauty in the smallest things.
I totally agree.
Getting out into nature and chilling out and enjoying the simple bliss of being alive and being present. It's class,
man.
Can't beat it.
I love it. But
on that note,
that was a lot of coffee chat. I love that. I'm addicted to coffee, but I do want to find out more about you because. Give us a little introduction. Like, obviously, you're spinning a lot of plates. You're doing a lot of stuff at the minute. You're a student, content creator. Like, you've got a lot of kind of things going on. But how would you describe yourself? Now, don't get me wrong, I hate that question. But just like roughly, like, who is Conall Rice? And is it? I always wanted to ask too. It is Connell, not Conall, right?
But I get everything.
Do you get everything?
Yeah. I got called Colin the other day, and I was like, "Come on, how you
No, I knew it was Connell. I was thinking Connell. I was like, right, Connell. And then your Instagram, I see it's C Rice, so I was like, right, no, I'll go for Connell. I'll chance it, but I thought that was right. But no, tell us a little bit about how would you kind of describe who is Conall Rice?
I think you've done pretty well to sum up. I've got a lot of stuff on, but what I'd say is. A 21-year-old guy who doesn't know what he wants to do with his life.
Nothing wrong with that.
Who is chasing a couple of passions. I'm a medical student, and I make content in my spare time because I'm addicted to going to the gym, to fitness, to trying to be the best I can be and progress myself. And that's really what I'm at. I'm just sharing that through content creation.
Yeah.
So, I would just say I'm a guy in uni who's trying to find himself, and whilst I'm doing that, I'm sharing it with other people and hopefully trying to inspire a couple of people to do the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's really all I could say. Like, I don't really think I've nailed down one thing or achieved one thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm on a bit of a journey right now, and I'm happy to admit that. And, you know.
Which at 21, you should not have your life figured out. Like
That's
I'm
true,
27. I still don't really have much of a clue. Like
Yeah,
just kind of winging it every day.
Yeah, I respect that.
And it should always. It seems to be like as long as you're doing like, it should always be that the emphasis should be on doing something you enjoy.
Yeah,
like fitting things into your day that you value, whether that is, you know, traveling, whether it's going for walks, whether it's making content, whether it's, you know, doing the medical stuff or doing the degree. It's just trying to, and you're gonna be doing things that you won't want to do anyway. Like that's all about finding your true passion, and also there is an element of in a job, any business, anything that you're working towards. There will be parts of life that you don't enjoy. Like you can't just stay away from emails, admin, and all that rubbish all your life. But as long as your purpose and your vision is aligned, and you're like, right, I'm making time for myself, and I'm building a life that I enjoy living, and the day to day is fulfilling. You can't go wrong. Like, you're 21. You're extreme. Like, you know, you've got a lot. Of time.
I feel like
Gary Vee would be like, patience, patience, man.
Yeah, true. I mean, I would definitely say that's a big thing for what I'm doing right now. Is everything that I do in my daily life stems from passion and interests, and also a bit of delusional dreams and stuff. You know, and I think there's absolutely no reason why everyone shouldn't be a bit delusional in what they want to do in life, and just say what they want to do and commit to it, and you know, try a few things out and try and put a few stepping stones together to get there. And essentially that's what I'm doing right now. What that end goal is, I do not know, but I know that if I do whatever I'm passionate about now and just keep working on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can do that rest of my life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Definitely. I've no doubt in that at all. I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back to the first time because obviously we're neighbours. You and my little sister were in the same school bus.
Yeah,
Like, would have seen you when I was collecting my little sister. And then I slowly started seeing you on Instagram and like seeing you on TikTok. But I remember seeing your initial YouTube videos. This is where I remember.
Now, this is actually not true. The first time I think I met you was a sports massage for the Gaelic boys out the
aye,
club.
maybe,
And
aye.
that was when I first learned about the IT band.
Aye.
And now that I'm becoming like a bigger runner at the minute, the IT band is one of my main focuses, and every time I do, I fucking get the massage gun out and do it, and it's a complete agony. All I can think back is that sports massage, you getting the elbow.
Man, I actually
rubbing out
forgot.
the
That's
IT
right.
band, yeah.
That's right. I was in the fitness Gaelic club. I was doing like there must have been 5 or 6 seasons. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the first time we chatted. That's probably the first time we chatted, and other than just seeing each other whenever.
I remember my mate Pete McGlynn was in before me, like, and Pete's a big lad. He's in good shape.
Sore man afterwards.
And he came out, and we were all very nervous. We're like, what's a sports massage? Like, you know, boys from fitness, we wouldn't know what a sports massage is.
Definitely
Like,
not.
and Pete came out limping afterwards, and he went, it's not good. I wouldn't go in if you didn't have to. Like, so he set the precedent before I went in. But yeah, that was actually the first time.
Many years ago was that? That was a while ago.
That was a while ago. Like, that
must have been at least 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say plus. But that's just me trying to deflect from the YouTube question.
I know. I want to bring it back. That's actually mad. I had forgot all about that. That was that's weird because I don't really do sports massage anymore, but I'm doing sports massage for. Do you know the Stormers, the rugby team from South Africa?
No.
You're
doing
the DHL Stormers are over here at the minute, and I'm going to the Europa
No
Hotel
way.
to do sports massage
No
for them.
way.
So that's weird. That's weird that you brought that up because
That's class.
I was completely out of massage, and I do a little bit for like clients and sports people that I worked with whenever like I'm back when I work with you boys. But that's weird that I'm doing that this week, going up to the Europa Hotel.
I think that was the first kind of professionalism idea that came into fitness. GAA. And since then it's developed, like, but I remember us thinking we were bloody professional athletes getting a sports massage.
Getting the massage in. Here and now we'll talk about your running and stuff, but I'll definitely think that it'll be massive benefits to you, like sports massage recovery. You'll be thinking a lot about that over the next couple of months. But we're deflecting. You're deflecting from the YouTube. Bring it back. There must have been when did you put your first YouTube video up? Like when did you get the idea of I want to make content and I want to put it out? Because at that age, it's probably just I enjoy doing this, and then just.
I think I'm going to surprise you with a few anecdotes here.
Man,
so
give me as many anecdotes.
It wasn't just the mountain bike YouTubes. So I always had an interest in YouTube. Like, I watched it all the time. I loved it. I love this idea that people could be passionate and turn their hobbies into a lifestyle.
Yeah,
and I loved gaming YouTube, but I also loved outdoors YouTube and like just anything really.
Yeah.
So it started off with the mountain biking vlogs, and so it's 2023 now, and I'm in 3rd year of uni. So I was doing the mountain biking vlogs in 2nd year of secondary school, I think. So
yeah.
I don't know the miles. So
a while back, 10 years ago, like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
13.
2nd year.
13.
13. I would say. So. Yeah, so started putting it was me and my dad always went mountain biking. He got me that when I was younger, and thank God he did, because it's one of the funnest things I've ever got into.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things, like similar to hiking in terms of getting out in nature and stuff, like a full-on adventure, you know, every day that you're out. And I remember I got a GoPro that he had lying about, and he wasn't using it, and he had a chest strap, and he had a helmet mount, and he had a handlebar mount. I was like, bloody hell, like, boys in YouTube play like big money for these, like, and Dad's got one lying over in the office, so I asked him, like, could I bring him out and start recording our trips? And then he went, yeah. And he went, also, there's an old Parrot drone I had lying there for work. And a
drone back in them days? That was...
the Parrot drone. So it wasn't one of the ones that bird's eye. It was one of the ones that, like, had the fish eye going.
Oh, nice.
Like,
One
of the original ones. They were nice, like... But anyway, I was like over the moon, so I went at it. I started doing research on how to, you know, edit videos, how to make a good video, and I really liked Casey Neistat back then. He was definitely my favorite YouTuber. So I don't know if you remember how most of them went. They were like completely wee mimics of Casey Neistat, and I put these together in 2nd year, thinking like, bloody hell, like a drone intro, like the text is edited, the text and the cuts are all edited to the music.
Which for 2013 that was like. Cuts and stuff are just normal now, but like back then that was cutting edge stuff.
I was loving it, like, and I went, bloody hell, like, I've got GoPro footage of me going down a mountain, and I thought this was class. And I was like, you know what, the boys at school are gonna love this.
Yeah.
So I started throwing them out, left, right, and center. Every day we went away, done a big vlog. Turns out the boys at school didn't like it. Turns out the girls at the neighbour school didn't like it, and thought it was a bit cringy. But that was my first taste of content creation, and it wasn't met well.
Yeah.
Obviously, my good mates and all loved it, and they thought it was sick. But as a young guy, in an all boys school, it wasn't. I wasn't able to cope with the slagging, so I got rid of that ASAP. And thank God they never found out about the Minecraft videos that I used to make as well. Was so weird? Like and also that's so mad because like it was just you were doing something different, and automatically at that age you're just like, Conall's doing something different, that's not on. So, he's not one of the lads, he's doing something that's different than all us boys, And I had been putting them out and not sharing them. And letting them grow organically without trying to force it. And I went, you know what, if I just put this on my Facebook, I've got like 200 friends on Facebook, I get 50 plus views hopefully from this.
The good old days of organic growth, like. It's nearly completely gone now.
The boys at school seen it, and then that's where it was obviously shared around, and I obviously thought, oh, is this blowing up or what? But no, it was just being shared around the group chats and around Oma, like. But Oma's a small place, and new things are like met with a bit of curiosity. Yeah,
even still, like you still get that.
I don't think there's anything bad with that. Like it gave me a bit of resilience. Yeah. I'm still making content, so it didn't throw me off too much.
Definitely
but
not.
I don't think you can blame anyone for like.
It's just what it's
small mind, because
100%.
I was definitely the same when I was younger, because the only thing I cared about was what other people thought of me, which is why I deleted them, and I don't know why I didn't just private them. I think I wanted to make definitely sure they were gone and no one can see them, so I deleted them, because I'd love if I had privated them. And then I could go back and look at them now and be like, big ups to young Connell for doing that.
I know, mate, and it's like
it's a shame, like, but
it's why I have so much respect for YouTubers. I was about to say our age. I'm like 6 years older than you, but YouTubers that done it when they were younger and just didn't listen to that noise, like, and are now paying dividends, and it's their full-time career, and they're doing something they love. Because I was similar. I think there was a video of me singing on YouTube. I put up a video of me singing. I don't know why, but I must have fancied myself having a bit of a voice when I was like 12, 13. And I can't remember what, it's funny, it's similar kind of story, but I put it up. This is actually so like vague in my mind that this actually happened, but I put it up, and then I remember I left it up, but no one knew about it. No one at school knew about it. I think it was kind of like I might have been 16, 17 actually, kind of later on in school. And if I knew if it would have been fine, and I also had no ambitions to be a singer. I just done it because I was like, I don't know, you looking validation? Do you want people to tell you're a good singer? I don't know why I done it in my young mind, but I remember first year uni, I went to uni in Leeds, and a load of ones from home came over. Like whenever everyone started uni, everyone's in different places, and a load of ones came home, and we were at like this house party or whatever. There was 10 of us, and one of the girls that was in my class at school had the video on her phone.
Oh no.
And this is me first year uni. I went to the YouTube channel. This obviously wasn't self-aware enough and I also still cared. Nowadays, like, I don't really care what this, obviously we all care a little bit about what other people think, but it gets less and less over time. And I went straight and deleted it. Like, I was so scundered. I was so embarrassed. I was like, but you know what? Like, I don't know why anyone cares. Also don't know why I'd done a singing video. I had no interest in singing, but it's just...
But it's like, it's a vulnerable age too. Like, like everyone does care at that age what people think of them. And you develop that resilience over time. Yeah. But you can't blame yourself for going and deleting it and being scundered. Like, I don't blame myself for it. I just wish I'd private them. Yeah. But I look back on it like with a bit of pride in the sense that like, you know what? Tried something new. Got slagged for it, and then I'm still doing it now. And like, I'm not saying that as in like, oh, pity me, I got slagged. I think it's hilarious. Like, because some of the videos were quite cringy.
I can imagine. But I also don't think you can have like. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh, if I'd have just stuck at this, or if I'd, when Instagram first came in, if you'd have stuck at making content, or, even TikTok, like we spoke to Sean about it, and we're going to go into your TikTok as well. Like over lockdown was a massive time for growth, organic growth on a new platform. It's unheard of now, and something else will probably come along at some stage, but
for sure,
it's like you always live, it's very easy to live with regrets and be like, I wish I'd have done this, I wish I'd have done that. I'm very big on the butterfly effect, like, is very powerful. If you would have kept making videos, you might have fell out of love with it. You might have not wanted to make them anymore. You might be making content now, and if then people wouldn't have kind of laughed at you and you wouldn't have deleted them, you never know what way
Yeah.
things would have went. So you have to be thankful for the good and the bad, you know,
Yeah.
growing up, definitely.
I think it's so beautiful. I've said this to a lot of my mates sometimes, is that butterfly effect you're talking about, but to be able to look back on events that have happened in your life
Yeah.
and look at where you are now and realize
cool,
the fact that you had no idea that the decisions and the things you done back then have led you to where you are today. So why have that like fear or that anxiety of what you're doing every day leading to where you are in the future? Obviously, do things that you know are going to benefit you, but don't like deep, incredibly like nonchalant decisions like all the time, because you didn't consider like where you're going to be in 20 years time whenever I threw out those YouTube videos. I just done it. I just tried it. So I think it's a beautiful thing to look back and, you know, realize like I had no idea what I was doing back then, and it's led to where I am today. So let's not get too worked up about what I'm doing right now. Let's just have fun. Let's try things. Let's develop new ways of trying things like content and stuff, and just experiment, you know, and experience things. And it'll lead me to a position that ultimately I'll probably be happy with, because my YouTube videos led me to here. So
exactly. And also, I don't want to skip over. I want to go back to the Minecraft stuff, because you briefly mentioned that, but I think I mentioned this in the last podcast.
Is this a podcast like where we chat about things, or do you just
no? I want to expose everything. But no, what you were saying there is so right. Don't sweat the small stuff. I think I said that in the podcast before, and it's just like there's no point. There really is no point. And if I could say one thing, if there's anyone that's at school listening to this, like it's so hard, because everyone at school, you're in this certain mindset, and it's so easy to just want to fit in and want to be with the crowd. But if you're doing something different, or, you know, I had Brad on who was a singer, and he used to chat about going to the music room and like, you know, just spending ages on just playing the keyboard, and then he found his own, and then he went on and busked and been really successful. But if you're at school and you're doing something a bit different, don't shy away from that. Like don't be shy to be yourself, and just really, really dedicate time to it. If someone laughs at you or whatever, try your best to brush it off. It's so easy to say now, looking back, but
I just wish, I actually hope there's people that like listen to this at school, because I wish I had someone just to tell me that when I was
100%.
younger. And thankfully, I didn't get pushed away from it.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully I'm still here doing what I love doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that was, but I wish I had someone to tell me, look, like, small time mentality all out there, like, isn't actually a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like, people are gonna laugh, but like, it goes a long way in saying like, first people laugh, then they follow and stuff. But again, I don't want to go back and blame like a small time mentality and stuff, because I don't really think it's that like important. I think I was a part of it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying like, oh, like small time mentality.
Yeah.
I was definitely a part of it. Like, and it's just natural from, you know,
it's your environment. Like, it's your environment. It's how you're brought up, and we're all like products of our environment to some extent.
Yeah.
And how far you push away from that. It's all about finding what you enjoy. That takes years. Like, that takes time. Definitely does. But let's go back. Minecraft. Right.
Minecraft,
I actually forgot about it. So the Minecraft videos came before the mountain biking, or?
Yeah, they were my brother,
nice.
He's probably not gonna appreciate me saying that, like, but
Own it, man.
very randomly.
Minecraft's mad. There's people making a fortune on Minecraft now.
So we loved watching Minecraft YouTube, so we gave it a go.
It's something I was never into, like.
You know the way I like to do like gaming, you need one of those like SD cards that records your screen or something.
Yeah.
We were young, so we weren't making money or anything.
Yeah.
Frig that. What we'll do is we had this like toy chest of drawers or something, so we dragged it in front of the TV, about 7 books, and then a filled water bottle, and just propped the phone landscape on top of it. And so it was the most shammiest like recording of our TV in our living room on split screen Minecraft playing away, and just randomly making noises and talking in the background. Like, you couldn't even hear us half the time. But we threw it up anyway, and had a bit of crack with it. Like, but again, just try shit. Like,
I love that. Actually, I love that. There was obviously an element of when you were growing up. Like, that's something that a lot of people wouldn't even consider. You obviously had something in you that wanted to make content for, whether it was yourself or for other people, but there was obviously that drive. You obviously had a creative, not that it's a gene, but you were definitely showing signs of going to be creative in the future and doing something creative with your kind of hobbies and passions and stuff. If you're putting content out, even to think about making videos on a drone and making videos you mountain biking, not many people think like that.
Well, like, I appreciate you putting it like that, but I don't think it was as deep as that. I think
you must have seen someone else, maybe you seen someone else do it and was like, oh, that looks fun.
I kept that stuff so private.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? That was like, they're my like passions. I was like, it'd be class to be a Minecraft YouTuber or class to be a mountain biking YouTuber.
Yeah.
When I'm older, but I have to be good at Gaelic and like fit in with the lads at school here.
Aye.
So when I went to school, I prayed to God no one brought it up. Like I remember sitting with the boys in like school Gaelic team at the table, just being like, "Oh, please, no one bring this up." And the majority of times it was, and I would be like, "Haha, lads, laugh it off," but inside I'd be dying.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was as deep as that. I think I just enjoy. I knew I had a passion for it, but knew I'd probably get slagged, so kept it to myself.
Yeah.
And interestingly, I must have said this to myself at least 20 times. Whenever like I got slagged or anything, it was like, be sweet. When I get to uni, I'll start doing content because no one cares when you're at uni.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows that I did, to be fair, have an appreciation of growing up in a small town like around the GA, like which I loved, and it's made me who I am today. But I had an appreciation of the big bad world out there.
Yeah.
Whenever you get to uni, and whenever loads of people from all over the place come together.
Yeah.
And people have an appreciation and actually respect for people stepping out of the normal pathway of life and trying to pursue passions and stuff. So I always said to myself, like, that'd be sweet. Don't worry, big man. Like, you'll just do it when you get to uni.
See, isn't that mad that you feel like you felt like you could be more yourself? Like you were setting that up that when I go to uni, I can be more myself.
Definitely.
That's kind of like, it's sad that we think like that, but I think it is just the environment of school. It's so systemized and it's so like you're in this box. Like I made a video, me and Brad chatted about this, but it's just like you're in a box. You're like, right, do this, do that. You're doing things you don't enjoy, and it's just like, right, let's just get through this. But looking back, school was really enjoyable as well. Like class. You know, like it was some of the, it was so fun, and you'd know that element of like no responsibility, like
and seeing all boys school, like who's a big school for Gaelic. And the competition in that school is ridiculous. So the insecurities getting laughed at stem from an area of competition because you want to be the big lad in school. Everyone want to be the big lad in school, but only certain people could be. Yeah. So with exams, with football, with like the chat at lunchtime, you want to be the best, you know. Yeah. And that's maybe who I am today too. So I loved it. Like school, like it was class, and you know I got slagged for making Minecraft YouTube videos. That's class. Yeah. You know, I gave it a go and I had a bit of crack with it. Yeah. Who actually cares? Like,
100%. 100%. It's the same with me. Like putting YouTube videos up when I was younger, you just put it up and it was the same. You're praying someone doesn't find it.
Yeah. I was big time. And as soon as I did, like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. And nowadays, you just wouldn't care. But it's all a learning process, isn't it? It definitely is. Yeah. But right, talking of, I wanted to kind of to touch on. Obviously, we talked a lot about school there. You went to an all-boys school. And did you have Mr. Dixon?
I did,
at school? Shout out Mr. Dixon. What a great guy.
Physics.
What a good guy. I played football with Mr. Dixon I'm calling him Mr. Dixon just to stick to the legit. I don't want him getting in trouble.
He would have coached me for the school football team.
Great
so
teacher.
I played school football and then school.
I imagine he's a great teacher. Like great example of what a teacher should be.
He's class. Yeah.
That's quality. But right, I want to talk a little bit about school. Going to uni, when did you first decide, like, doctor, medical? When was that something that you kind of knew early on? Was it something that I know I'm real? Because let's not beat around the bush here. You're a smart guy if you're doing medicine at uni, like.
Appreciate it.
But you are. Like,
I'm in uni. I don't feel like it was.
No, 100% here. There's always someone smarter than you. But
that's true.
When did you first know, like, growing up at school? I can imagine it was for the school you went to. It was probably not common, but it was probably like it was a pretty smart school. So I can imagine there was a lot of people thinking about it. But when did you know that that's the route you wanted to take?
I mean, like P7, P6, like my mum done medicine, my auntie, my uncle done medicine. So it was always in the family.
In the family, yeah. Okay.
It was like always present.
Yeah.
So I guess I always had an idea of it. Honestly, I couldn't tell you one decision or one time when I went, I really want to do it. It was kind of just always there in the background and always present throughout my school. And then, like, I done well enough in school and kind of just went, you know what, I'll give this a go because I didn't have a burning passion for anything. Yeah. So I knew it would leave a lot of doors open and went for it. And I'm happy I did because, you know, it's a good course and I'm enjoying it. It's bloody challenging, which I love. But honestly, there wasn't a significant point in time when I went, wow, this is my calling. Yeah. There was a few health issues with my brother. Yeah. And everything he went through was quite big, like a big turning point, to be fair. Like, and definitely influenced my decision a lot to go and do it because, you know, it was amazing to see. And, like, it was amazing to see the gift that medics have to be able to help people on a daily basis. And that definitely inspired me a lot. Yeah. But yeah, there wasn't one point in time. It was kind of always present, and I went for it. And again, it's about experiencing stuff, and challenging stuff. And by no means am I saying I'm going to be a doctor when I'm older, but that's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I'm studying. If someone else comes along that I can hopefully use medicine for, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Or if nothing else works out and I'm really, really enjoying my medicine still, then I'll go for that, and then I'll be a doctor. So it's just again part of that pathway that I'm on right now, and I'm enjoying.
I think people forget sometimes how how much impact a really good doctor can have. Like, I know the NHS and everything gets a really bad rap sometimes because they're under so much pressure, and it's like, oh, this bad doctor. You have to remember these people have dedicated a massive chunk of their life to helping people, and to trying to help people, and I think it's a very, very, it's an incredible career to get into, to help people, and ultimately helping anyone in any area, no matter what your job is. There's loads of different ways you can do it. Even in my job, being an online coach, just helping people lose body fat or helping people get into shape. Doctors, whether you're a physio, whether you're, helping animals, whatever, there's a lot of value and there's a lot of fulfillment in a career that is helping people. But how long's the medical degree? I wouldn't have any clue.
It's 5 years in uni, and then you've got your 2 years of FY1 and FY2, which is foundation year, which you kind of just...
Is that you as a junior doctor then?
Junior doctor type thing, so you kind of just do a bit of everything.
Couple of years not getting paid enough, essentially?
I suppose, but I wouldn't want to comment on anything like that, because the political state that, that is going on with NHS and everything at the minute is mad, but then you've got that, and then, to be honest, if you want to specialise, you want to be a consultant, and you really want to nail down and be the best in your area, like, you're talking another 7 years of exams, constant learning on top of that, until you're finally, in a position where you can call yourself, I am a consultant of this, and my name is Dr. whatever.
See, being a doctor would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah. I suppose it would be.
It'd be nice.
Again,
it'd be nice.
A doctor is cool, but like the added bonus that comes with it of being able to change people's lives. Really, is something incredible. Like, and I think if you're not doing it for that, then
100%. If you're doing it to have doctor in front of your name, there's something went wrong.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying there. But
no, 100%. I totally get it.
Bloody ever present in uni. People who we're reminded all the time by our lecturers who are obviously qualified. You got to be in this for the right reasons. There's a lot of people that do it for the paycheck and do it for the title and do it because it looks good, like, to introduce themselves as a doctor. But, ultimately those people will get, like, dwindled out. Whenever the pressure comes on. And something that I chat about a lot is, like, having a passion for something. So passion will override, the need for discipline and long hours. If you're passionate about something, you'll stick to it. So the people who are doing it for the wrong reasons won't have a passion, and will get dwindled out. But just, on what you were saying about the NHS there, and like, this is why random, did not expect to be talking about this today.
Man, no, I want to get here. It's part of your life, and it's true. And it's a big part of what you do, because we will get into the content creation and all the rest. But being a doctor, it's it's a big commitment. Studying to be a doctor, studying medicine, that's a big part of your life.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like you were saying about the NHS and it being under pressure, like, and it is under incredible pressure at the minute. And I think you said it well. You said, people say, oh, they're a bad doctor, but the NHS is, in a really bad state of affairs right now, under incredible pressure, and everyone in there is doing their best to support and provide, like, the utmost healthcare to everyone they can. And I really think it's important, not just in this example, but in general, one thing we focus on a lot is having empathy for the position that people are in. So fuck opinions. Just have empathy. Have an understanding of where that person's come through, what they sacrificed their whole life to be in the position that they're in right now. And what they're doing for other people, and then how they're influenced by everything going on. So,
and then have an opinion.
And then create opinion. And if you still feel like you can have that opinion, then fair play to you.
You've
wrong. Obviously, fair play to you. You've obviously got something, that you've worked out, you figured out that other people haven't. But majority of the time, when you have empathy for someone, it'll just stay as empathy and it won't turn to an opinion. And I think that's the best way to, like, look at events like that and issues like that. You know?
100%. One of Brad said, like, we were chatting about empathy and all the rest in another podcast, and he was just like, it all comes down to not being a dick a lot of the time. Like, if you're, as a person, if you're just like, if you have empathy and actually care about other people and actually take a step back from the situation, like even just in general, just like such small menial things, like getting angry at drivers on the road, getting angry at the weather, getting angry at people, you know, reacting in a certain way or shouting at someone, I'm like, you know, take a step back. Have a think. You know, and as you said, there's so much pressure, and we have to remember we're extremely fortunate to have the NHS at all.
Like we are, like compared to
you go to America, you go to somewhere that you have to pay for every single thing you get done. You know, you have to sit back. And I know, like, I don't want to get into politics and everything on this podcast. It's crazy, but politicians get a bad run, and some of them might be lunatics and all the rest. But like, you know, you have to think of the stress. You have to look at the situation. You have to look at the situation the whole kind of world was in for 2 or 3 years there.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I think, as you were saying, Colin, you said it spot on. If you can have empathy in a lot of situations, you'll see things in a much better light.
Yeah.
You
I really do
will.
believe in that. Like, I do believe in that word empathy. Like, and I mean, it goes both ways, because obviously, like, I love the NHS and stuff.
Yeah.
But then with everything that's going on, everything that I see about that, I just have complete empathy for and have an understanding.
Yeah.
And that allows me to maintain a level head and not to get worked up and not to, like, you know, make wrong decisions or say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm completely driven by pure emotions and opinion.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming from a place of, like, an understanding, put myself in other people's shoes. So you have to then, if you're going to have empathy, you can't just have it sometimes. You know, you have to have it all the time, and even whenever you don't want to.
Yeah.
Which is an important thing. But anyway.
It all comes back to your character. It's all character building. You know, none of us are none of us are perfect. None of us are in a place in life where we are better than anyone else. It all comes down to just having parts of your character that just, again, don't be a dick. Just be a good person. That's all we can all strive to be. 100%.
It's you just learn, like, stuff like that as you go on.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
As we were talking about school, if we could go back, like, if you could go back and have self-awareness at school.
If I could have had empathy for those boys slagging me, I probably would have been like a
imagine you sitting down being like, guys, I just have so much empathy for you guys. Like, I'm just,
guys, what's wrong?
The thinker just at school, just been like,
but no, here, big ups on NHS. So
yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And look, big respect to you for dedicating so much time to that, because I done sports science at uni, which a lot of people see as a waste of time and a pointless degree, but it's one of them degrees where I think I valued it so much that I have no regrets in doing it at all. And I think it's, when it comes to uni, it's very easy to be pressured into doing something that you think you should do rather than doing something that you want to do. Like, because when I said I wanted to do sports science, like, you know, look, everyone was supportive, to be fair. I'm very lucky that I've got good people around me, but there's always people going, sports science, like, what is that degree? It's quite new. Like, science and sport is like past 15-20 years has really only been a thing. And it's very easy to kind of think, oh, is this a waste of money, waste of time? But as long as you're, like, the people I met, the things I done, the sports I got involved in, the experience I got, was worth every second. So if you are going to uni, or if you're making a decision to go to uni, if it's something that you're passionate about, whether it's photography, filming, whether it's sport, whether it's medicine, whether it's dentistry, whether it's construction, I don't know, whatever degree it is, if you're interested in it, just go for it. Like, you can learn a lot from a degree. I know degrees get a lot of, you could have done that without getting a degree, but it's not about just what I'm sure you're the same, like, the things that you learn, the people you meet, the experiences you get put under, it's a very, very valuable kind of learning time. Like,
and it goes for everything you do in life. Like, learn from everything.
Yeah.
And apply. Just because you learn about something in this profession or this, like, slight area of your life does not mean it can't be applied to everything else.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's having that ability to appreciate the underlying lesson there.
Yeah.
And then taking that underlying lesson and applying it to something else in your life.
Yeah.
So don't just think that because you're studying this at uni, then you can only apply the stuff that you learn there to that.
Yeah.
Like, you could do a full degree, learn so much, and then take that and do something completely different in your life.
Yeah.
And there is no harm in doing that. And if anything, that's probably the best way to do it, because, you know, you've actually appreciated what you've been taught there, and you've taken it and put your own spin on things.
Yeah.
So don't ever feel like, you know, there's only one way to do stuff.
Definitely not. And this is not saying either you have to go to uni either, because a lot of people, if you go into if you start learning straight away, or you go, say, if you go straight into learning practically and you get an apprenticeship, whatever, you can learn so much from that as well. It's about doing what you want to do and what you think is right. But I know, speaking about the butterfly effect, uni, I had so many of them. Like, I had so many different, and it's I think it's such a condensed period of time that it can just carve your life very, very
true.
quickly in a positive and a negative way. Don't get me wrong.
It's
Like,
an extreme, like, it's such a big part of your life. Because,
it is.
Like, so much changes during that.
Yeah, that
like,
18 to 21, like 17 to 21 is such a, even the way your brain chemistry works, like, it's such a time where you're taking in information, learning who you are. Yeah.
Like, I mean, right, this might surprise you. First year me was just a waste, man.
Yeah.
Like,
here, man.
To be fair, it was COVID as well.
Yeah,
We
that's
had
tough. That
nothing
was
to do.
tough.
I was in Elms, so we were first year COVID. I was in Elms, which is like the Queen's University halls, and probably shouldn't be saying this actually, but like we just partied a lot, like, and tried to escape from security and stuff.
Yeah, man, you're
And we had
saying nothing new there. Like,
we had nothing to do, so. I mean, we were doing, to be fair, we tried to make a best of it. So we would be having parties in our wee kitchen with the people in our flat, and that was it. And then waking up late and trying to do a workout in our kitchen with the dumbbells I brought up from home.
Yeah.
So we made the most of it. But, I mean, I was a waster because there was no real other options.
Yeah.
A trip out to us was a trip to the library, but we just went to the library to mess about. So then...
I love the library. I was the same. Like, the libraries at uni tend to be 24 hours, or a lot of them tend to be, and you're like, oh, I'm going to the library. And that decision, you're like, I'm going to be productive. You end up going, you're just sitting there, like, throwing stuff at your mates.
But then, like, third year me now, and like, same goes for my mates that I live with. Like, we've all just had a complete, probably, alter in brain chemistry in terms of what we now want to do on a daily basis, and how we want to act on a daily basis, and how we want to live our uni life. And the uni life I have right now, like, I wouldn't change the world, honestly. It's like the happiest I've ever been, and I'm really happy with the way that, you know, I get on day to day and what we're at. But like, that's a 2-year change, which is ridiculous. Like, I think it's probably like the quickest your brain will develop in terms of your whole life.
100%.
You know, is that age when you start to have that new lease of freedom.
Yeah.
And with that comes so many opportunities, but so many responsibilities, and you do learn quickly. Like,
you do, definitely do. I remember going to England for the first time. I was like, this is crazy, but you're just meeting new people, and it kind of forces you out of your comfort zone massively.
Absolutely,
even going to Belfast, even just you spend so much time with the people at school, you develop a friendship group. But see, to be honest, I only really speak to, like, not out of choice really, but just because I moved to England and I moved away, I got new friendships groups and all. I only really speak to like 1 or 2 people from my school. Like, a lot of my friends, uni was such a big time for me. Like, most of my best friends are in England. So it's like, it's such a big time. And I think that, but this isn't saying, a lot of people kind of feel, maybe, that are listening to this, maybe felt like they wasted their uni years, or they just drank the whole 3 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that either. You done it. It was an experience, but just know that you can only influence what happens from today onwards. Today. Like, dwelling on things in the past is so, like, because we could always do better. Like, we could literally always do better. Like,
but it comes back to what I said earlier. Like, you can't really look back and be annoyed for anything.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you know, there's gonna be exceptions to that rule, but don't be annoyed at it. Like, just be happy that it happened. It's brought you to where you are today, because today you have an opportunity to change. Like, the Stoics, what is it they say? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant it is now.
Yeah.
Is today.
Yeah.
So every day when you wake up, you have an opportunity to either go and repeat or go and evolve. And if you're looking back and you are a bit disappointed, then go and make the decision to evolve today.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's no harm in looking back and stuff and saying, oh, I wish I'd done that. You can't change that. So you can only change what's in front of you. So
100%.
Get up and get after it.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Right. Let's go into content. Let's go into Instagram,
it feels
TikTok.
like I haven't even really started the podcast.
I know, it's mad. Here, man, I'm really, really enjoying it. And that's the great thing about a podcast. It's the longer form. You can really chat and open up so many doors and just one thing. That's why I don't even like having too much of a structure to these, because I feel like when you're just chatting about things and bouncing off each other, a lot of people can take a lot of value from this. So it's great. But I want to go into TikTok, Instagram. You have a pretty sizable TikTok following, pretty decent on Instagram. What, like 15k, 16k on Instagram or something?
15, yeah.
And then on TikTok,
150.
I see. So was that a? When did that start? When did you start putting out consistent content on it? Because can I just say, you have the most aesthetic Instagram feed in the world. Matt, here, if you don't follow Connell, if you don't follow Connell, go follow him. What's your Instagram? C Rice?
No, it's just Conall Rice.
Conall Rice, is it? Go follow him, because the man's feed. He takes pictures of himself. He's out with his coat on. Like, his fits are good. Like, the lighting's good. It's man. I actually really enjoy it. Like, you've got a really good.
I try and work that, but I don't think that myself.
man,
Do you know what I mean? I look at
no.
everyone else, go like, oh, right, like, why are you so cool, or why are you so cool? And I think that's a great thing, because it just shows like I'm still just a dude doing his own thing. Like, I'm by no means so I think I've cracked anything. Like, I put up on Instagram yesterday and was like, hopefully I'm gonna be happy with that whenever I keep posting more stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just a constant process of like finding out what you like.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could list you like 10 people right now who I look at and go like, they're cool, they're cool, they're cool, they're cool, they're cool. I aspire to be like that, and my stuff is way off them. But like, it's just learning curve.
But that's in your mind as well, because you're like, as long as you're putting out stuff that you enjoy, that's the bare book. Like, that's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters. Like, you were saying to me as well, like, we were chatting beforehand about putting out content, and I was like, I feel like, you know, I'm putting stuff out, and I'm kind of trying to find, you know, people that resonate with what I think and all the rest. You might see someone else doing better and finding their audience quicker and all the rest. But as long as you said to me, like, you said this, take your own advice, just keep putting out stuff that you enjoy, stuff that fits in with your values and what you want to get from life, and just show it on a feed. Because once we start getting into that comparison thing on Instagram, it's so
comparison is
it's dangerous,
the
like
thief of joy. Like, like it really does strip you of happiness. And I'm not saying that to say that I compare myself to them. I'm saying that to say like I enjoy what they're doing, and I appreciate it so much, and I try and take things from that. You know, everyone says social media is horrible because you're just comparing yourself all the time, which is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But it's also brilliant because it can inspire you, and you can take things from people. So if you're doing it in a positive way, and, you know, obviously not scrolling all day on your phone, but if you're looking at your phone at night and you see someone, you go, oh, I wish I was doing that, or that's class. Go like, well, you know what? I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start wearing that type of stuff, or I'm going to book a flight to that place, and I'm going to take inspiration from that and use it in a positive way instead of letting thief or comparison steal my joy or whatever.
Take inspiration, definitely. And that's what I was saying, like, social media is a big kind of running through this podcast a lot, just from the guests and stuff, and a lot of people having big followings and all the rest. So it is, social media can be a massive positive. If used in the wrong way, it can be an extremely big negative, like extremely big. But it's just about how you see it, and it's all about how you, because it's very easy to go, like we were speaking about Andrew Tate, like, don't say his name too quick, or we'll get arrested or what.
Like, so Voldemort, he should not be. What is it? Voldemort, like,
he should not be named, or he should not be named, or whatever. But he's gathered a lot of attention. People hate him. People love him. Did he do this? Did he do that? Whatever. But it's just like, try not to focus too much on these people that you will most likely will never meet. You know, it's so easy to see someone on social media and compare or have an opinion or whatnot. But if you're just using social media to take inspiration, and then if you're a content creator, you don't even have to be. If you're just using it to consume, and you're just taking inspiration, or you see a cool recipe, you know, they're all massive positives.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're using it to put out content, just make sure you find it valuable. Make sure you're not doing it just for the sake of doing it, which is very easy to do. I've been in that trap too, where you're just putting out a video because you're like, I need to put a video out today. You put out some nonsense that just is not going to be beneficial to someone. You're just like, oh, I just need to get a video out. So yeah, I don't know what your opinion on the whole social media sphere is, and how you kind of see it, but you got into it. When did you get properly into it? Like, properly posting? Was lockdown a big trigger for it? Or?
Yeah. A lot of people probably don't know this, but I have another TikTok account which I opened in lockdown, like, because my mate Marius,
shout out Marius,
probably know him, Marius Monaghan,
great creator as well, unreal content, quality
creator, like, so over lockdown he started it. He completely inspired me to get after it, because we're from the same town, play for the same gig team, and he inspired me. I was like, mate, it literally reminded me of my days on YouTube. I was like, wait, he's doing what I've always wanted to do when I was a young guy, so I'm gonna get after that. You know, obviously we were mates, so I was texting away at him, like, how do I do this, and started putting up his skits and stuff, like, which were questionable, but I loved doing them. Like, and I know they made my friends
never seen
laugh,
any of them. I'm raging. Is that account still there?
Yeah, it's still there. Like, you can go and try and find it if you
I must try and see it.
I mean, I don't know why I said try, because it's very easy to find.
Is it? I'll be on it straight after.
So I'm not going to say anything because everyone will find it. But yeah, go check it out if you want. But that was the start of it, and then got a bit bored of that. And bear in mind, in terms of reflection of where I was versus where I am now, whenever I was making them, I got slagged heavy in the comments and stuff, because it's completely vulnerable content.
Oh yeah,
like,
and TikTok's a cesspit of.
Oh, it is. But like, I was acting like a goofball, like, and I was getting slagged for it, but also people were loving it and laughing away.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that feeling then of, caring what people think, and probably that's because the whole world was on lockdown, so I didn't see anyone over
Yeah.
that time. But anyway, that's where it stemmed from. Then I just got bored of that, like kind of grew out of that. It was good fun for a while, and made it to like 11K on that, and kind of went, okay, I've got a decent idea of how to go and grow an account now.
Yeah.
And then forgot about it for a year or so, and then went to uni, kind of just enjoying new life, and then started to really get into my fashion, my fitness and stuff, and started actually more from a style point of view of not clothes but aesthetic in life and cool pictures. I was really into my pictures in first year of uni, of taking cool pictures and cool shots and trying to capture like emotions and shit. All that deep shit which I'll claim to do, but just really was just whipping out my phone taking a picture. So got into that, and then started uploading that, and then started to see day in my lives, and I thought they were so class.
Yeah.
And really provided a good emotion and good insight into people's lives, and
Love a day in the life video.
And started posting them with no voiceovers, just collections of what I was doing throughout the day, wee clips with music over it. And first couple done bad, but I was like, nah, I like these, like, and I've done all right with the last one. I got to 11K followers, so I was like, why don't I just do it again with something that I like uploading, and done that, and they took off from there. Class. That was it was the end of summer of first year, so whenever I got into second year uni was when it started to pick up. Yeah. And I started to realize, okay, no, frig this, let's go for it. And and to be fair, the sense of caring what people thought of me came back to me, because obviously now I'm in uni, you're going out, you want to be the cool dude in Belfast, like, and obviously content creation is a very easy way, and having done it before and getting slagged for it and knowing what can happen, I was cautious of that, but it blew up a wee bit, kind of got to like 15K, and people were like, okay, where's he going with this? You're either gonna stay there and get slagged, or if you make it past that, we'll let you away with it. Yeah. And then just kept working at it, kept pumping them out, kept my head down, kept like saying, "Aye, cheers, lad," if someone gave me a wee nudge about it, and then they took off properly. Yeah. And haven't looked back since. So.
But isn't that funny that the same people that will slag you are the same people that will respect you whenever you've got big following?
Yeah. I know.
It kind of comes back to that. It's like, because you only, once you build credibility, then people are like, they validate it in their mind. Yeah, it's true, like, oh, what he was doing was worth it. And so many people, it's quite sad that so many people give up because they never get to that point. Yeah. They could be loving their videos, but they're just like, I'm just not, I'm not getting.
And the thing is, I think it's absolutely inevitable that you will get to that point if you just keep going. 100%. Consistency is absolutely key. Yeah. And belief in self and what you're doing is the second key. Yeah. So I honestly
self-belief's everything, man.
I honestly think, like, if I could tell anyone that's like trying to put content out and it's not taking off, and they're trying, keep trying. Okay, yes, change things up. Maybe make a new account. Maybe go for a new type of content. Yeah. But don't you dare give up, like, because I honestly think it's inevitable that if you stay consistent, stay true to self, you will make it regardless. In terms of, like, and when I say make it, I mean blow up a wee bit, to where you can start really doing stuff with it. Yeah.
Very easy to overthink it. Very easy. I like, sometimes it's just good to just, like, if we're waiting for this, I done a video on this yesterday, but it's like, if you're gonna wait for the perfect piece of content, you'll wait forever. Like, there isn't the perfect piece of content, like, and it'll be the one you spend the least time on that does the best.
But, like, do you know what it is as well? It's like, sometimes you think you get the perfect piece of content, you're happy with it, you put it up and it does well, but then you're like, okay, next job, next task. So there probably is a perfect piece of content where you could go, yeah, that's probably my best video, but you'll never accept it. You'll always want to progress and move on to the next one. Like, TikTok sounds like, job finished? No, job's not finished.
Yeah. I love a motivation.
As soon as you get one that does well, you're like, class. And I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but I've only had like a few to really blow up. Like, I haven't had that many that have done like very, very well. Yeah. And I remember I got one that got like 2.3 million views, which is my biggest. And TikTok. And honestly,
what was that? Was that a day in the life, or was it like
a day in the life? It was a Project 50.
Project 50. I want to talk about that as well.
And I remember, like, before that being like, bloody hell, if I ever get those numbers, I'm gonna be so buzzing. I'm gonna be through the roof. Like, I'm gonna be like going and telling everyone and sending photos to my family, be like, look what I've done. Yeah. And I got it and I went, sweet. Right, what are we filming tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's a good way to look at it, because it allows you to have that disconnect from validation through likes and views and stuff, which is important, because if you can't have that, you're gonna find yourself in a wormhole of searching, and pumping stuff out and really searching for those likes. And once you get it, like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a equal reciprocation of the work that you've put in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just a number on a screen.
And if you're enjoying what you're making, that becomes so much easier.
If you enjoy what you're making, then the likes become irrelevant.
Yeah, because if you're making content for others and you're not really enjoying it,
Yeah.
it's just impossible to stick
Yeah.
at it. Like it
Sure.
really, and that's what I found. Like with fitness especially, and I'm sure you've probably had this too at some stage. I think everyone that puts content out has it at some stage where you kind of see other people making content. You're like, maybe I should be doing that. Maybe I should be doing this. Then you try and emulate a style and you try and do this. And it's just like, I couldn't put this out for 365 days in a row. Like I just wouldn't enjoy it. So it's just make sure you're enjoying what you do. That's why I've started going more mindset stuff now, because I'm like, I don't care if the engagement is better or worse. I'm just like, this is my message and I want to make videos like about this.
That comes into then social media comparison. I think of like looking at someone else who's doing well and being like, damn, if they're doing well, I can see what they're doing, which is helping them do well. Why don't I do that?
Yeah.
That then is comparison. Take inspiration from that and try and implement that in your own way.
Yeah.
But don't just change it up and go for exactly what they're doing, because then you don't have that personal touch.
100%.
Everyone watching this is probably going to think I'm a fish that I'm drinking. Like.
Here, man, good to stay hydrated. You're on marathon prep. Well, you're on marathon prep, which I definitely want to get into as well. But I want to touch on Project 50. Cool. Big part of your social media life and growth. Where did that come from? Did you see someone do it? I love Project 50 videos. Here, my guilty pleasures. Project 50 videos, morning routine videos.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Especially aesthetically done.
Project 50 is the GOAT. Like,
it's so good. Who was it inspired you to do that?
I'd love to say who I seen it originally on. I had I know. His name's Lucas. That's his only name on TikTok.
Nice.
You probably have seen him if I was to show you him.
Yeah.
He is in some nick.
Nice.
But he done Project 50, filmed every day of it, showed the same bloody monotonous, repetitive routine.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like and to be fair, that lad has style too. Like he's got a good aesthetic about him. Like you know, his videos are well done. So I really like that aspect of it too, because obviously there's a lot of Project 50 videos out there that are just like the hard work, the gym and stuff. But a big part of my content as well is like the fashion, the style, which I appreciate. So when I seen it in his videos, I was like, okay, I need to get onto this. I remember looking at it and just going, okay, this is day in the life stuff. A personal development challenge. I started really getting into my like books about psychology and personal development as well at that same time. So I was like, okay, that's cool, because I enjoy reading these books about helping me develop, but let's do something physical about helping me develop. So then that's when I went from there. And then seeing the SOM Studios, which are the people that developed it.
Yeah.
Nico developed it. I can't remember his second name. Begins with R. But his stuff is class too, you know, and Project 50 is very good for implementing that dark aesthetic, that lonely, dark, ghost mode aesthetic, and it was something I bought into initially, like really hard initially. That was what attracted me to it. I love that idea of going ghost for 50 days. Yeah. You know, putting all distractions out of the way and just seeing how good you can make yourself in those 50 days. And I think you really do find your passions, and you do find what makes you take over in those 50 days. And I'm not just talking about like passions in terms of pursuits, but you know, what helps you take over in the day in terms of what's the best thing for you to do in the morning, what's the best time for you to read, what's the best time for you to set time aside to have personal time. You know, you really do find how to schedule yourself. The
power of discipline and consistency is definitely like, it's a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like, so valuable, like just doing like building habits into your day. That is what's going to get you places.
This is like, you've said there's a few things you want to chat about. This is one thing I want to chat about.
Man,
and it's gonna come up in my TikToks in the next couple of whiles. Like I've done a wee kind of I'm working on something. Discipline over motivation is my absolute mantra for my training, for my life, for my studies, for anything.
Just getting it done.
Discipline and having that power of mind to go, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, and we're getting it done. So discipline for me is such an amazing thing, because it's a completely intrinsic value. It's like a muscle in your brain that you can work on and train. Motivation is an extrinsic thing. You know, it comes from watching a video on YouTube or a video on Instagram.
It's like caffeine.
And that's class.
Bringing it back to coffee.
Yeah, that's class.
Comes and goes.
You know, that fills you through motivation. You go and rap out your PB and your bench, but at the end of the day, that's one video, that's one day, that's one movement that you've just achieved. How are you going to get up and do that tomorrow? Do you have to go and watch another 30-minute YouTube video? Yeah. Like, you don't want to be relying on extrinsic sources of motivation. So the discipline and being relentlessly repetitive is one of the most addicting things, because you realize that it's within your power. You realize that you don't need someone to tell you to get up and go and do it. You realize that there's a muscle inside you that you can grow. Obviously, this, just for clarification, you don't have a disciplined muscle inside you. But it's a mindset that you can work on and develop, like, over, I don't know how long it's going to take everyone to develop it. Like, it might take weeks, months, or years.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's readily available for everyone to grow this intrinsic source of discipline that they can go out and get after it day after day. And that's when you start seeing the results. And what you start noticing is you no longer have to rely on big milestones to replenish that motivation. So if you're like want motivation, you see someone who's really successful and you get motivated by that, that's because you want to go and be that successful, which is going to take a while to get to. And obviously, if you've got motivated off that, it's not going to last like 10 years. Because that's probably how long you're going to need to get that successful. Yeah. It's going to last you like a day or two, probably. Yeah. A week if you're lucky. So if you have discipline, you start becoming fascinated and you start like being overjoyed with small successes, day-to-day successes, getting up at 7 a.m. when you plan to get up at 7 a.m., hitting the gym at 7:30 whenever you've planned to do that. You come out of that gym and you go, bloody hell, that's good. Like, I feel good about myself. I'm crushing this day. This is going to be a good day. And you start becoming fascinated with these small little things that build up exponentially. And you don't notice it. And when you become obsessed with the finite, like the small, tiny details that you have to do day by day, you keep your head down and you push through them and you get rewarded for going to the gym and you feel good. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you kind of take your head up and you look in the mirror and you go, Jesus. Okay,
class.
There's a bit of progress for the gym. Yeah. Or you do an exam and you go, Jesus, that's progress from my last exam. You know, and you don't look at the end goal because there is no end goal. There's nothing that you're going to cross the finish line and be like, I'm done, I've finished it. Yeah. It's like life is just a journey and a process of self-development. And whenever you can become fixated on the day-to-day and realize that every day you have the ability to be the best you can, that is when you're truly living, and that's whenever you're going to be happiest, and that's like that's when you're going to make changes and make progress. So discipline over motivation. And
mate, I love that. You'll be doing a TED talk about that in the future. I can see it. You're passionate about it,
mate. Would you stop hyping me up?
Mate, I love it. I love it.
It's
so spot on though. And I done a bit of content recently, inspired by Daniel Dargan, who's on the podcast as well. Who's very into mindset. It's like you're voting every single day on who you want to be in 5 years, 10 years. Like, you're putting a vote in. If you snooze the alarm, you're voting in a negative way. If you get up and you commit to what you're going to do, you're voting in a positive way. That will then translate to who you are in a year's time. Like, how do you want to use your votes? Like, and that's where it comes down to discipline. What do they say? 66 days to form a habit. So many people just don't give it 66 days.
I know, and that's the thing as well, because by saying if you don't get up at 7 a.m. and you're putting a vote in for how that's going to affect you in the future, people will see that and be like, crap, well, if I plan to get up at 7 a.m., I'm going to go to the gym at 7:30 and then I'm going to do yoga at 8 p.m. at night, and they get up at 7, they sleep in at 7, they don't get up on time. They think that's a failure and that, oh, well, I may as well go back and start at square one. Yeah. Not really. Like, if you get up at 8 a.m. and then go to the gym, you've still got a success there. Yeah. So being focused on the small details is good, but you also have to have the foresight to go, okay, if I've set like 10 small tasks I want to complete today and I'm not hitting all of them, that's no biggie. Yeah. As long as I get up and try and do it again tomorrow, I'm working that, because it's going to take time to be able to complete 10, self-development tasks every day. No one can just flip a switch, wake up and do that perfectly, like repetitively for a year. Yeah. It takes time to build the willpower, the self-control to go and do those things every day. So don't get disheartened by a small failure, because you are focusing on the small things, which make a small improvement. Yeah. But if you don't do them, they're not really going to have that much of a negative effect. Mm-hmm. So, have the foresight to go, okay, big deal. We'll just do it again tomorrow. We'll just be better tomorrow. 1% every day.
I love that. That's a great way of thinking about that 1%. And it's why recently I created on my online coaching the commit to 90, because I was like, right, okay, if I can get a commitment to 90 days, that can totally change. So anyone that's listening to this podcast, if you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling motivated, use that and be like, right, okay, I'm going to do it differently this time, because insanity, it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. If you're actually ready to commit, see 2023 as the year, like, right, okay, I'm actually going to make progress here. If you're not commit to 90 days, minimum. And I promise you, and from experience, and I'm sure Connell will say the exact same, if you commit to 90 days and do something like do the habits, basic habits every single day,
Yeah.
you'll see progress.
Absolutely. Put the head down.
Yeah.
Do not look around.
And don't do
you
it for other
those 90
people. Do
days.
it for yourself.
Don't do it for other people. To keep the head down. You know, don't look around you. Don't expect progress after 10 days. Commit to the 90 days of doing it, but commit to the 90 days of knowing it's going to be a slog and that you're not going to see progress until the end. The truth is, you will see progress halfway through if you look.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is having that discipline to keep the head down, and at the end of it, go, holy crap, that was good. Let's go do it again.
Yeah, just use that little bit of progress as inspiration to keep going.
Yeah.
Don't see it as an end goal.
I love that commit to 90.
Yeah. But yeah, look, I wanna touch on marathon prep. Marathon. You've committed to do a marathon, which is a thing a lot of people decide to do in life, and it's something that a lot of people are like, right, okay, I want to do this. What's the reasons behind doing it? Is it a challenge? Is it something you've always wanted to do, or is it just like part of the Project 50 kind of mantra where it's like, I just want to commit myself to something and see where I can get with this? Do you have a time in mind that you want to do, or is it just a case of just doing it? Or what's the
just a bit of crack with the boys there?
Bit of crack with the boys.
Nah, it is that. That's what it came from. It came from an idea of the boys, like, boys 21. Do you want to do a marathon, get one done early, and then that sets up the rest of our lives of doing a couple of marathons, maybe one every 2 years type thing.
Yeah.
Be a good like stage to start, and that's what it stemmed from. But obviously then I had to consider, do I want to do this? Do I want to commit to a 16-week program? And
it's intense, like
absolutely, because I feel like I'm too much in my comfort zone. At uni, it's so easy to be in your comfort zone. We have no responsibilities, essentially. You have your degree, and you have responsibility to do well in your degree and pass and whatever. But I feel like I'm too much in my comfort zone, and I love Nick Baird. Nick Baird's probably my biggest inspiration in life.
What a legend. He's one of the first people I started watching on YouTube.
Like
him and Christian Guzman were two of my biggest like inspirations.
Nick Baird's the guy. If I could meet one person in my life, it would be Nick Baird.
Unreal.
David Goggins.
David Goggins too. See, his podcast with Chris Williamson is out there, Modern Wisdom. They done
I listened to that on my run this morning.
Did you actually?
Oh my god, man. I listened to it, right.
I haven't listened to it yet, but
I done 10 miles this morning, and it was a slow one. So it was 9:30 pace because we're going for a sub 3:45, training for at the pace for like a sub 3.
You'll go quicker than 3:45.
See, that's the first one too, so I don't want to like just
A lot of it is about the psychology of just getting it done.
I just want to experience those 8 miles at the end that people talk about. Whenever shit hits the fan, you're hurting, and it's about getting the head down and staying focused, like put on the blinkers. But that's why I'm running it. I'm not running it for like a PB or to show off what time I get.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments have been saying I could go faster, and I've been considering it. But then chatting to people that have done a lot of marathons, they're just saying like, it's the first one, enjoy it. It's an experience. So anyway, it's
a fine line between blowing up too. It's a fine line between pushing, especially the first one, because it's a game of pacing. Like, anytime you go over 10 miles or 15 miles, it doesn't like if you can do 15 miles, you're fit enough to do 26 point whatever it is, but it's all about how you pace yourself and the breathing and everything else. So that's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool that you committed to that. Like.
No, I'm looking forward to it, and I had a 10 mile this morning, so running at a 9:30 pace for slow recovery, like not recovery, but like a slow, just getting used to the distance. And had Chris Williamson on with David Goggins in my ears the whole way. No one was up, and ended up like I just ran a completely faster pace because all I could hear in my ears was David Goggins chatting about how he done 100 miles without any prep, put himself into kidney failure, and then said the last 30 miles of that he would bet against absolutely anyone that could never be able to do that, but it became a personal thing for him, and I went, holy crap, right, frig 9:30, let's get after here. So if anyone's looking for a cheat code, and
he would put a rocket up your ass, like listening to David Goggins.
He's class.
He's next level. Level. That's an incredible podcast too. That Modern Wisdom.
It is, I need to branch out from a podcast. I listen to like too much high performance. Do you know it?
Oh yeah. High performance with Jake Humphreys and your man. Darren Hughes, is it? Or
what was it?
Damien Hughes.
Damien.
Yeah. Liquid Thinker. Great Instagram as well.
Yeah. But so marathon prep, like, it's going class.
When is it?
It is April 30th. So then you get the May bank holiday off.
Belfast.
Yeah, Belfast. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I'll come down with a flag.
Cheers, that. and a flat white, yeah.
And a flat white, absolutely.
But yeah, so the whole idea then, the more I think about it, is like, it's the first kind of, I'm fascinated by endurance. It's the first kind of solo challenge that I put myself forward to. And I heard Nick Bear chatting about, seeking discomfort, and I think that's something that I need to do. And
Seek discomfort.
Seek
Love
discomfort, like seek getting out of your comfort zone. If you want to stay in your comfort zone, grand, but don't expect any progress. Don't expect any change in who you are, any growth or any personal development. Just be happy with where you are, and that works for some people. Fair play, but I'm happy with where I'm at, but I know that I wanna be more. I wanna develop myself. So seeking this discomfort is a big thing for me. And then on that note, like I'm planning to take a year out of medicine next year and go solo traveling and get away and find myself. And that sounds cringy, but like
I'm solo traveling in March too.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm going to Bali. Going to
Are you
Bali.
going to
Yeah,
Bali?
but I'm going for like a month or two, test the waters, see how I can work out there. Because I'm going to work alongside it, obviously. And but solo travel is something that I really just want to do. Never done it. I've done Europe and stuff, done little trips, but I've never done a pretty long period of time.
Yeah, same.
Like, you'll get a lot out of that. I know I'm buzzing for it.
Like, I just think, like...
Where are you planning going in the year? Do you know yet, or are you kind of...
Mate, I've got so many ideas, but I think what I'm planning to do is...
be great for content too.
Yeah, that's
just
the thing.
New environment. Like
I want to work. I want to work for a bit of it at the start. Make a bit of money so that I can then do a bit more traveling and sightseeing. Like
yeah.
So I'm thinking of working in the Alps and doing a mountain bike season up until like November time when it just about ends and the ski season's starting to come in.
Yeah.
And then after the mountain bike season, coming home, and then in the new year going away and doing a bit of traveling. There's so many places I'd love to hit, but I just need to sit down and put it together.
Yeah.
Australia. Bali, to be fair,
it
is enticing me. Tokyo would be like
Tokyo, man. I'd love to go to Tokyo.
It'd be Tokyo. Like,
I'd love to go to Tokyo. I nearly had an opportunity to work with a cycling team in Tokyo, like, and
Who's that?
It was what was it? It was a junior racing team from down south. Can't remember what it was. It was about 5 or 6 years ago now. But they reached out to me from my work with the Oma Wheelers, and then at the Ampost Raz, which is a big endurance race down south.
Nice.
And then they reached out to me and they were like, "Oh, we need someone to come do sports massage." I was buzzing. They asked for my passport details and all. And then the day before, or like the week before, they were like, "Oh, we don't need anyone anymore." And I was like, because Tokyo is one of them places. I was like, this would be incredible. But I got to take it off.
If I could go one place, it'd be there. But that's the plan. Work a bit at the start. A new location. I mean, the Alps appeals to me so much because hiking, running, like endurance events up around the Alps be class. And then obviously got my mountain biking too. Go back to the roots, like
back to the YouTube
videos.
videos.
Metaphorically, like
get the old drone out again, because we didn't even
delve.
delve that. Obviously, you're a very sporty guy into fitness, like Gaelic, mountain biking, hiking, all the rest. Like you love to be involved in that. We could talk for hours and hours. But I want to finish it off. I want to round it off by, because the memory card is an hour and 35 minutes, I think, or an hour and 25 minutes. I always get so scared towards the end. But I want to kind of talk about what's the vision? What's the, not to get too deep, and I know life vision is a big topic, and it's something that takes a lot of work and a lot of figuring out, and none of us really know exactly where we want our life to go. But what's the vision for you? Like what's the kind of life goals? Where do you kind of, you're still so young, like 21, so much to happen, like so much to figure out, like we all do, 28, 38, 48, we're all figuring it out. But what would you say is that, like, where do you see your vision, or at the minute, what's your vision? Obviously it's going to change slightly and change as you grow older, but
look, I'm young. I don't really have one thing nailed down. I have a load of things I know I'd love to do in life, but ultimately the one thing that ties them all together is doing something that I'm passionate about and that I love, and that I wake up every morning and go, let's go do more of this, let's go develop, let's go share this with other people. And what I want to do is to be able to do something that puts me in a position to help others and to inspire others and to work with others and to meet people, to travel places and just to experience life, because all I want to do is, by the time that I'm lying on my deathbed, is to go, I experienced life, because I think life's just a collection of experiences. I want to do something that allows me to go out and experience that. I don't want to do anything that ties me down. I want to do something that I'm always chasing that next adventure with. And at the minute, I think content creation is a great way to do that, because the door's always open. You know, there's so many different avenues you could go down, and then also my medicine, there's so many different avenues I could go down there that could help me out. I want to do something I'm passionate about, and something that I can be self-driven, and hopefully inspire others along the way and grow a great community along with me. and just literally be the next Nick Bear.
Man, I love
Do you know
that.
what I mean?
The next Conall Rice, you're
if
your own
someone
man.
told me like, what do you want to do right now? It would be something like that.
Yeah.
Like a fitness content creator who just striving to be the best they can.
Yeah.
And then also helping people to be the best they can at the same time. I think that would be it, honestly.
Mate, no doubt in my mind from chatting to you, no doubt in my mind that all the success is coming your way for sure. I'm excited to follow the journey. Where can people find you? See Conall Rice. What's the Instagram, the TikTok,
Instagram's
the
Conall
secret
Rice.
TikTok?
Yeah. Instagram's Conall Rice. TikTok is Conall Rice with a couple of E's.
Type Conall Rice and you'll get it. CONALL, 2 L's.
CONALLRIC.
Nailed it.
And
go and follow the man. Aesthetic videos, Project 50s.
Cheers, bro.
New content coming up and all the rest. But look, man, no, I appreciate you coming on. It really does mean a lot. And it was another incredible conversation. But look, guys, if you enjoyed that, I don't even know what camera to look at because I don't know. I hope they're all still going.
I don't know what.
I hope they're all still rolling. This one here's the two of us. But look, if you enjoyed that, make sure to do all the good stuff, like, share, subscribe. Make sure to subscribe on the YouTube. Here, big up the man, them. But yeah, check it out on YouTube. Share. There'll be reels and stuff going out. Follow Morning Coffee with Tim on Instagram. There is a TikTok as well, which I'm trying to stay consistent with. There's so many platforms these days: YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Forgetting about Facebook these days, but I think Facebook engagement is nearly one of the best at the minute. So, look, guys, really appreciate the support. Share it on your stories. I'm going to be throwing out free coffee vouchers and stuff for people that share it on their stories. And don't forget to grab a coffee, get your steps in, and I'll see you in the next one.
Discipline over motivation.
Love it, man.
Become relentlessly repetitive. Go out and get it.
Absolutely.
Dreams will come true. Peace.